Hi there, Jack Van Breen from Guitar Showcase in San Jose, again on Totally Guitars, playing one of my favorite all-time instruments, the Gretsch 6120. There's been a lot of variations of this beast. They started in the mid-50s. They came originally with the Dynasonic single coil pickups from Diamond. It's a sound that if you're into rock and roll at all, you know and love. First with Duane Eddy and Eddie Cochran. But more recently, let's see if I can make this happen. Okay, there's a sound everybody should recognize. Pete Townsend was touring with the James Gang, and he had a Stratocaster that Joe Walsh was enamored with, and Joe had this Gretsch 6120 with the Dynasonic. So they swapped, and Pete went on to do Who's Next. That whole record was done with the 6120. But this one has the Filtertrons, Gretsch's answer to the humbucking pickup. And I like them because they have a meat to them, kind of like a humbucker. But they also have a bite like a Fender. So they're kind of in the middle. And it's ironic, if I want to get a compliment when I'm on a gig, I'll play the Gretsch, because invariably somebody will come up after I play my Gretsch and go, "Wow, that guitar sounds great," which kind of makes me feel like, well, what's it sound like right now? Oh, well, you play it really well too. Anyway, Gretsch was a little bit different. They started out, they very early on did the master volume. They have the two volume controls down here, and originally they had a third control here for tone. It's kind of awkward to get down there if you want to do a fast tone change, so they moved it up to a switch here. And it's a 3-position switch. Straight up is bright, down is mid-rangey, takes a little bit of top end, and up is bassy. So you hear people talk about the Gretsch mud switch, and that's because the original value for this position was with the tone was just all the top end rolled off. It's really bassy. So the Gretsch company decided they were tired of hearing that complaint, and they fixed it. The first thing I did when I bought my Gretsch was I ripped the control out and changed it back to the original values, because that's one of the reasons I bought the guitar, was to go from to mud. And you can't really do that with these, but that's okay. Most people don't like that. So forward switch, closest to the neck, is your tone control, is your pickup switch. Neck, dyslexic again, bridge, neck, both, and this switch on a double switch guitar, Gretsch, is your tone, mid-rangey, bassy, and full bright. Notable guitar players with Gretsch, of course, George Harrison, Chet Atkins. You'll see his name here. The Atkins family, realizing that just how closely Gretsch and the Chet Atkins were tied all through most of his career, have consented to allow Gretsch to use the name again. It shows a lot of respect and honor between the two groups of the Atkins family and the Gretsch family. So I'm happy to see that. Mine says Chet Atkins as well as I have Fred Gretsch's signature on my guitar, which was kind of cool.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that tailpiece?
Okay, so in my, again, also arrogant opinion, you can't really have a Gretsch without the Bigsby vibrato tailpiece. It just adds a little bit of... And one thing that I like about the Bigsby's, it's a subtle thing. You don't do a lot of dive bombing, because you only get about 3 pitches out of it. But you get a real smooth vibrato. Not tremolo, as Leo will have us believe. And I set my Stratocaster up to kind of approximate this, so I get that real smooth vibrato. They're a real pain because you have to put the ball ends on these pegs here, and then wind the string around, get it so it comes directly over, and then keep tension on it when you're restringing the guitar, keeping it on the bridge slot, going all the way up to the headstock, and getting it in by your favorite string method. It's not for the faint of the heart. I can do it between 5 and 7 minutes now because I do it fairly often on mine. A couple other things. Oh, notable players. First time I saw Gretsch live, a guy named Neil Young was playing it. Now lately he's playing a Les Paul with P90s on it, and that's okay, but you know, to really get that true Neil Young early years tone. Recent years there's a cat by the name of Brian Setzer who's really put Gretsch back on the map. And I'm arrogant, but I'm not arrogant enough to try and imitate him because he's way beyond my level. Or as they say, beyond my pay grade. But this is the Gretsch. If you don't have one, trust me on this, this is how I got mine. I brought it home and my partner in crime said, "What are you going to sell?" And I said, "I don't have anything that sounds like this." And she looked at it and she said, "You're right, you don't." And then she said, "And it's awfully pretty." And I discussed about dinner because I knew at that point she was going to let me keep it. So I finally got my Gretsch after 40 years. You should get one too. They do have a Korean variant. It looks a bit cheap, but it does have that great Gretsch sound. If you know, want to spend about $500–700 and get a good guitar, that's not a bad way to go. You definitely will stand out on the mix. This is Jack from Guitar Showcase. Thanking you for paying attention on Totally Guitars, and we'll see you next time.